I always felt like something was missing. I didn't feel like I was fully accomplishing anything by attending church. I went to Christian schools. I was in the youth group. I went to every church function as a kid. Growing up, I went to vacation Bible schools. I was in Sunday school. I went to a Christian college. So my whole life, I was surrounded by church and church people. I did everything that a good Christian kid does. I followed all the rules. And I spent lots of time with Christian people, with Christian kids. Most of my friends were church friends. I circled my life around being involved in the church. My dad was military and my husband was also military, so I moved around and attended a lot of different churches. But I always felt like something was missing. I didn't feel like I was fully accomplishing anything by attending church. I didn't see where it was impacting anything other than I knew the rules to follow, and I knew that, if I died, I would go to heaven, but I didn't really have any impact in my life. So I felt like I was just going through motions. Church really felt empty. While I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the music, and I enjoyed the preaching, I didn't really get much out of it. It didn't really change me very much. In moving around and attending different churches, I was taught a lot about the Bible. I know the Bible, but I never opened it outside of church. I never read it for myself. I only knew the common scriptures that are mostly preached, and I only knew, what I had learned in school, but I didn't have a true understanding. And when I moved to Fort Knox, my husband's last duty station, we sought out to find a church because I, was a good Christian and I knew I needed to go to church. So I did that. I found Abundant Life Church and started attending. When I actually first came to Abundant Life Church, I didn't have any intention of really plugging in. I was going to come on Sunday mornings and do my, duty, do what I was supposed to do. But I got in the building and I started hearing the preaching of the Word of God, and it was different, and it impacted me, and it challenged me, and I was taught things that all of my years in church I hadn't been taught. I was challenged to actually spend time in prayer. I was challenged to actually open my Bible at home and study on my own. I had never, after all those years in church, had never been challenged to do that. And it wasn't really, though, until I was having a situation in my personal life and I was talking to one of my church friends, and she said to me, during your personal time with God, and proceeded with her advice, and it struck me, I wasn't spending personal time with God. I started checking myself and I started realizing that what I was missing in my life was my relationship with God. I had been in church and knew about God, but I never knew Him. And I began to pursue knowing Him. And I began to start reading the Word, and it came alive to me. Now when I attend church, and now when I do those things that I know I'm supposed to do, I do it with a whole different perspective and a whole different purpose. And I have purpose in my life, and I have joy in doing those things. It's not just a duty, it's not just a religion, it's not just a practice, but it's a heart knowledge of God. And it makes all the difference. I have a full heart, and I have joy, and I walk in purpose and in peace, and I have a function. I always felt like I wanted to do something with my life. I wanted to help people. I wanted to impact people in some kind of way. I wanted to leave my mark in this world, so to speak. And I never felt like I was accomplishing that. But now, walking in the knowledge of God and in a relationship with Him, and doing those things that I know that He wants me to do, and knowing that He walks with me and He holds my hand and He gives me guidance, I know that I'm fulfilling the purpose that I had to fulfill. I know that God can use me, even though I didn't feel worthy and I didn't feel qualified and I didn't feel good enough. Even though I had done right things my whole life, I still didn't feel worthy. But now I understand through the knowledge that I've gained from actually reading the Word for myself and spending time talking to and listening to God. I understand that I am worthy and I am qualified, and He wants to work in me and He wants to work through me to help and bless other people. And it's made all the difference.